feel like I'm such a broken record every time I repeat the recording.
You should have a recording of that recording message.
Drives me crazy.
I've got that script right in front of me.
Yeah, you know.
For NAC meetings.
For these subcommittees, it's just a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. So the first item of business that I had, and I have to just forgive me for this because I'm kind of playing catch up with limited knowledge, limited exposure. And I just wanted to find out if you had already designated an officer, like a chair and a recorder at the very least.
That is my failing position that I have failed at.
You are not failing. You're fine.
I am not keeping up.
Okay, so we have Commissioner Hendricks as chair. And who would like to be the recorder? It's a very easy recorder. It's not like BAC minutes where it has to be, you know, exhaustive motions, all that stuff. It can really just simply be like the gist of the meeting.
I'll do it. It's not going to be great, but it'll.
It's okay, Jim. It does, you know, truly, it doesn't need to be as in depth as the BAC minutes do.
Got it.
And Jim, if you're ever gone, I'll do it.
Okay. So,
Right.
Recorder, and then Sharon's the sub. Okay. Thank you for being so willing. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the history of this, and then just have a discussion about the application process, the way that it has worked before, because this will be, so when I was working for the city before, this was managed, owned, you know, for the most part by the Arts Foundation. So I never got to walk a mile in this program. And so I just wanted to ask you all, like, if you could just give me kind of a Cliff Notes version of how things worked in the past, kind of timeline, and how it all, I can only glean so much looking back at our notes because they only go so far back.
Well, yeah, let me just say that, you know, who's the best source to go to is Courtney, because she was there before I came on, and that we used to be, the BAC was involved in this, and we ran it. And then the foundation came in right before you came on, when Chris came on, and wanted to associate with that and sort of kind of took it away, which was fine. And then apparently that's a done deal. They're not doing it anymore. And it's fine, but you know, it was run in a way where we had a timeline of submission of projects. And again, Courtney will be able to get the nuts and bolts. She's the one who was very involved with this. And then once we got to submission, you know, vote on it and decide who's going to, you know, the winners of the grants. And then and we went down to City Hall and presented it with the mayor and showed all the projects on the big screens, and all the families came down. It was quite an event. I mean, it was packed in the house for that. And so that was sad to see it all disappear. And I understand the last couple of years with COVID, but it kind of, even when it was taken away from us, it was done on a less formal event. And I guess what we'd like to do is try to bring something back to really put the focus on the students and have our involvement in it. I guess I wouldn't. I guess the foundation has no interest. I mean, we would involve them in this if they want to be involved, or you know, or the arts program is part of the city. I mean, we're just a cog in this. But yeah, that's kind of how it worked. And granted, the last couple of years with being COVID, that's all been, you know, taken away, and it creates barriers for where we are right now.
Right. So there was nothing happening at all for scholarships for the last 2 years?
No. Not that was public, not that anything that there was any acknowledgement. They may have been doing it, but of course there's not going to be any sort of events or anything around it.
Yeah.
But you know what? We never were appraised on anything that was going on. We were in the dark the whole time. So it may have happened. You tell me. I mean, you find out. But I mean, I'm speaking for Ryan and Sharon. Did we ever know that there was anything going on?
No, I don't
No.
believe there was, and I think that was a point. I mean, Allison kind of brought it up and kind of said the same thing, is that it sort of fell off both the foundation and our scopes. So.
Okay, well, that's a shame, and I'm sorry for that. And I think from what I understand, and this is sort of I hate to say it, but like I don't know, it's not the greatest excuse for wanting to get rid of the scholarships, but what I've been told is that the Arts Foundation just truly wants to focus on the Reaser, and that is their primary focus. And so
yeah, they did go through like 3 organizational changes in the last 2 years, which was probably a nightmare in and of itself. They probably just cut the low hanging fruit.
And sorry, we're interrupt, but just to kind of let them know what I was thinking, because way back when I was on the chair, I also sat on the research meetings and all that. And the original plan coming in was that they were developing the marketing plan as they did for the research and the city as a whole. It was all sort of pulled together. And then about a year later, everything turned just towards raising funds, and that's probably where they cut bait with students, but we were never brought into the loop.
No
That this was
handoff.
actually happening.
okay,
Yeah.
well, so the budget that we have available that was approved in this year's budget is 10,000, which is not a ton. And it's going to be hard for me to figure out where else to pull it from in the budget. If we want to augment that, we certainly can look at doing that. We probably are going to have some funds in events budget that we didn't spend because we weren't doing full-fledged events. $10,000 feels really paltry to me. Like if I were a student getting $1,000, I mean, I'm not going to turn $1,000 scholarship down, but it's not a ton. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about, just have the real talk about that. That's how much we have. And do we want to kind of advocate for more? And I think I say that because number one, I can figure out if I can pull it from other areas of our budget for this year, but outside of that, like I'm going to start budgeting for next year, and it's going to be a really tight budget year. I'm just going to tell you that, full disclosure. So if we want to advocate, like I want to have a number that seems reasonable. And if we are going with tradition, I think that there were 10 awards given.
So
Wow.
Laura,
That's a lot.
is there another board or commission that would logically tie into this? And does MIAB have any funding whatsoever?
MIAP might. I don't know. They are the most logical.
That's
city.
why I thought of them, but I just don't know if they're a funded source.
Yeah. Well, so they're, yeah. My gut tells me like, no, they probably won't have additional funding. They probably would be great advocates and, get the word out, like they would help promote it. I don't think that they would be able to sacrifice their budget to help ours necessarily.
Right.
But I did have an idea. I mean, I don't think we necessarily want to do this for this year, because I think the priority is just to like get it back in play this year and get these, awards out there. But kind of long range, I was thinking about maybe it would make sense to have partnerships with other cities. So perhaps Tualatin Valley Creates, City of Hillsborough, City of Tiger, like all that kind of, because, and I say that because Beaverton School District isn't even all entirely in Beaverton. So maybe we want to have a more regional kind of combined approach and kind of share resources in order to do something a bit more grand.
How about Rob as his youth portion of TVC?
Rob.
I'm trying to remember his last name. Got to work with him with the Downtown Beaverton Association. He is, well, Jim, you know him. He was on our,
Yeah.
pardon me?
Oh, I'm trying to think who you're talking about. Rob?
Okay, so Rob was the one who worked on the Chalk Art Festival with us. But he also
No.
happens to be with Razier on the,
Or are you thinking of Gregory?
no, I'm pretty sure it's Rob.
With the Downtown Association.
Downtown
But he's still-
Beaverton.
He's still with them or not?
He does some work on that, but he also is with Razier on youth related, like coordinating with youth. So I don't know if it's even applicable, but I'm just throwing it out there as a potential.
Okay.
Not the new person that just came in.
Into
No,
what?
Into the Tualatin Valley Crate. It's a new person that was involved with Chalk Art, not going back. It was really our Downtown Association. That was Chuck, but
No, this
no-
isn't. No,
no.
no.
All right.
I'll
I'll
do
do
he's-
a little research. I'll do a little research. I'll ask Razier. I'll just,
Yeah, she would know.
yeah. I think for this year,
Or Sue Pike. Sue Pike will definitely know.
okay.
So another thought would be, it's kind of weird, but you could ask the research organization, because, putting this out there also gets their name out there, which they want to do in their first year anyways. And, it's a morph from the Beaverton Arts Foundation, but we can be our way of saying, hey, we got this, but, let's partner and let's, how
Yeah.
about you match our funds?
Okay. I mean, they might be willing to do that if they're not managing the actual administration of the program anymore, but
Exactly.
kind of cutting a check, they might be maybe more willing. We'll see.
Yeah, they might cut
I'm
a
willing-
check
I'm willing
as
to
long as
ask.
their name's on it.
Yeah. I mean, I think for this year, I'm not even I think we just need to pull it off on our own for this
Mhm.
year and then really work strategically on getting those partnerships in place for next year. That's kind of what my gut tells me to do. So I just wanted to see how you all felt about like bringing some partners to the table, or do we want to just own this exclusively?
Partnerships are always good because they bring in influence and they also connect people, which is, should be our goal as students anyways. And, this year, if we do 4 awards, I know it's not 10, but it's better than none over the last 2 years,
Yeah.
that would give people $2,500. Yeah, I can do math. Yeah.
So you think like do less and then do greater amounts or do just $10,000 awards?
I would do less awards and a little more money, or you could scale it. You can do, $4,000 award, but no, you can do $5,000 awards into 2,500.
I'd like to
Awards.
defer again to Courtney to go back on the records and see, because I mean, Kyle won this way back when, and I can't even remember what he got. There was 10 sounds about right of the number of people who got awards, but I don't know what he got in scholarship.
Historically, from the stuff that Courtney sent out to us, was between 1,000 and 2,500, and that was 3 years ago. So hold
Okay.
on. Yeah,
I'm
let's see what.
just sharing this document that I'm just trying to round things up here. So these were the different categories for these are for the actual arts awards. Oh, I pulled up the wrong thing. Sorry. Because there is some interest in bringing back the arts awards as well. Hang on, let me see if I can find this.
Hey, Jim. I just found, while she's looking there, I just found Rob's last name.
Okay,
I don't speak French, so I'm going to butcher it. I think it's Routhieux. It's Routhieux. Go
Yeah,
for it.
that's the new guy who just came on.
So it's Rob, not Greg or whatever.
No.
Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you,
Yeah, that was like this year that he came on and was involved with putting together the arts, the chalk art.
Right, and he's doing a youth thing now with Rob.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All right. I can contact him. All right, good.
Okay,
okay, so I just shared this document. So this was 2016, so it wasn't the most recent. And I think because most of those live with the Arts Foundation. But these were the recipients of the scholarship. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they were, I mean, you can see that they're kind of split out into disciplines. So visual art and then performing arts. Do we still want to have that kind of the delineation of, or the distinction between disciplines?
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can tweak these things as we go along, but I think to have this is sort of what we used to do to get the ball rolling, and I think it worked. So, and again, was it was it $10,000 that were split at that time, or
That I don't know. There's nothing on budget.
there's nothing on funds? Okay.
Not in the file, not in the project folder, but
From what Courtney said last time, it varied from year to year.
Okay.
probably based on
And-
how much they raised.
Yeah, and so that determined the number that they gave out. That's what I remember from our last meeting.
so is Southminster still a possible sponsor? The Celebration of Creativity is a fabulous show, and I just see it at the top here.
I have no idea, Sharon. I wish I did.
Okay,
I
might-
could
Well-
certainly ask, or one of
Well,
you can
here's-
look into it.
let me look into that.
Okay.
Here's the thing, we can get the applications out and stuff, and then, continue to find money. And then if we get more, we can add more, like, because there's nothing that says that we have to say exactly how many awards we're giving out at
Mhm.
the application. I was reading through the Beaverton Arts application that was sent out 2020 or something.
2019 probably.
Yeah, something like that. And it was very simple. It just said, these are the categories: visual arts, performing arts. They had the Portland Community College in there, which I think we should take out personally, but we can talk about that. And they said the awards were 1,000 to 2,500, but they didn't just stipulate how many. And so we can continue to reach out to partners and see if we can increase the pot, which would increase the number of students that can participate. Just my thought. So,
And it's also not always, it's great to give more in the scholarship funds, but it's the reward if they, they come and get a certificate, something you can put on your resume. If we get this in early enough, or they're juniors as opposed to seniors, but something you can use that you won, this award. So, cutting it down to 5 people, that'd be nice for the more cash, but I think it'd be, depending on what sort of feedback we get and how many candidates we get, I don't know, 10 seems to be a very reasonable number.
Yeah, I think 10, I guess, given, how vast an area we're talking about. I would feel anything less than that, it just isn't representative. So I guess I'm comfortable just leaving it open, leaving funding, like putting a range for funding and seeing how much we can, we can bring in. But I will say that I didn't intend on doing fundraising. So if we're going to do that, I think I'm going to have to lean on you guys to help with that significantly.
for sure, I can reach out to the Clark Foundation, and I can reach out to several churches in the area, and trying to think of any other, I'm trying to think of Beaverton centric.
The other thing that so I believe this was the case, but I could be wrong. But one of the things that we ran into before is that the city is not a nonprofit. So when you're getting donors, the Arts Foundation was great because it was a 501c3 and they had that built-in kind of tax incentive. So I just don't know if we're going to run into that. And I doubt that we can ask the Arts Foundation if they would be our fiscal agent. And
That's true.
If we raise the fund, if we raise the funds, can they just be funneled through the Arts Foundation? I'm happy to ask. But I think for now, let's just put a pin in the fundraising discussion and focus on just kind of getting things lined up for the application, because that is, I know that I have, Courtney and I have a plan to sit down and actually go through the application. And unfortunately, like, this is her day off. She does their flex day, so she wasn't around today for me to ask her about this stuff. And so I think what we would like to do is just take a first pass at the application and then have you all look at it and just make sure that it doesn't seem outdated, especially given what we've been through in the past 2 years. Like, we may have different questions we want to ask. I feel like the landscape has changed just to a certain degree. Should
I just share what Courtney sent us?
Yeah, that would be great.
That was the last one, and then
yeah. And I'm gonna tell you that I'm very likely to hand this subcommittee back to Courtney with my support. I mean, I'll support as needed, but I really want her, both she and Debbie, to kind of have their hand in these subcommittees and the work, and especially because Courtney is extremely familiar with this program and she loves it. She had expressed interest in running it. So
can you allow me to share?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Ryan.
No, it's all good.
Stand
and
up.
While you're doing that, I'm going to put in chat here. This email address is the current Beaverton Arts TOSA, teacher on special assignment, who puts out bi-monthly newsletters to all of his art staff, visual, performing, and all that stuff. I was generating a catalog, and then my wife, who's a drama teacher in the district, is like, hey, Blake sends this out every couple of weeks. Why don't you just contact him, because it goes to everyone and everyone reads it. So
okay, that's awesome.
It'll be a nice, simple way of doing it rather than trying to make sure you hit everyone. So
yeah, that's great. And
then I know Jesuit High School's chair for the arts department is Jeff Hall. It's Jay Hall at Portland Jesuit org or something. I'll find that and I'll send that to you.
Okay.
So, sorry, just some details that I promised I'd do. All right, looks like I can share now. Perfect.
Yep.
If I click all the right buttons, here we go. And make this bigger. All right, so just highlighted a few things going through. We had to change the names, right? Of course, but they had an application deadline of January, and I think we were thinking February. And I can't remember what we were trying to tie it to, but because I misplaced those notes. But the thing that I don't think that we should include Portland community colleges, not necessarily because they're not worthy, but especially because our funds are low. It'd be hard to represent all the high schoolers and the Portland Community College. And I think, if I remember right, the Presbyterian Church asked that to be a requirement of last year, if I remember Courtney's statement correctly. So okay. I think that was a condition of one of their grants.
Okay. I'm curious. I wonder if this was included because of Running Start.
Oh, that sounds familiar. No, because Running Start, you're still considered a student of the Beaverton School District.
No, yeah.
You just get credit for both.
I know, I'm wondering if we could just say that, like, high school seniors, including running start students, something that,
Yeah, just so that they don't feel discounted.
yeah,
I'd buy that.
okay. I think it's called running start here, and that's
It
what it
is.
was called. Okay,
Yeah, at least it was when I was a teacher in 2012. So,
okay,
and then it talked about here are the awards being given, visual arts. You know, you got 2D, 3D, which makes sense. Graphic design, video, film, arts, media. And then you have the performing arts, which is basically music, dance, theater, improv, anything performing, basically. The one thing that I would like to change is that this is only the senior year. I'd love to be able to include a junior award that isn't a scholarship-based one, but is like, you know, recognition of up-and-coming artist, or, you know, something like that, up-and-coming young artist or something like that, just to get them keyed in, one, so that they'll look for this award next year. And then two, you know, we talked a lot about the timing, and we couldn't get the timing down so that they could be recognized for like early applications, you know, in their senior year. It just wouldn't work out, you know. And so I think it's a good way of saying, hey, you got this award in your junior year, and you can use it on your college resumes.
yeah. I don't see a problem with that. I mean, is it just what we just want to do one, or do we want to do more than that? Or do you want to just?
I'd do one for each participating school. Maybe, you know, like, and it would like change, you know, there's one spot for each school or something like that. That way, at least somebody from the school gets recognized.
Okay,
Even if they don't, even if a senior doesn't get a scholarship award, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So we're not talking about giving them any sort of scholarship. We're not, that's still the 10, but these are sort of like, well, these are juniors, but it's just a recognition. It has no, we're not
Yeah.
dividing it up now 20 ways.
No, that's not my intent. My intent is only to give them recognition for an award so that they can use it on their applications next year.
Okay.
yeah. I mean, maybe we can just say like outstanding achievement or emerging talent.
I like
Maybe.
emerging talent.
Emerging talent.
Yeah, I like that. That's way better than what I was thinking.
Okay. All right.
And then you got the scholarships. Yeah, we can take out the whole Portland Community College. Have attended, here's a good one, have attended public, private, or alternative high school within the Beaverton School District boundaries. There was a request from one of the commissioners that we, one of the arts commissioners, that we open up to those that may not be currently in school. I think that might be okay if their intent is to get into school, like if they're planning on going to college, you know, because it's a scholarship.
I mean, maybe we,
You know?
we could have some wording for that, like students that are, you know, in non-traditional education.
Yeah,
Like they're homeschooled, if they are, you know,
yes.
not
Planning on
enrolled in
attending
school.
college
Yeah,
next
we
year.
can come up with some language that addresses that, but I think for equity reasons, I feel like we should not just have traditional schooling included.
Yeah, I think as long as the intent is to provide the scholarship in order to go to school, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think these minutes are totally fine.
Okay.
For me anyways, and then we just got to change the context.
Okay.
Then of course,
I know that we used submittable before, like we actually allowed the foundation to use our submittable account. So it works really well. Courtney knows it well. I think we should just stick with it.
okay, sounds good. And then first name, last name, high school senior, yes or no. I would say circle.
What year are you?
Yeah, what year are you? Senior, junior?
Yeah.
Other.
Yeah.
And then you know, we can get rid of Portland Community College, and then students medium, they can select. They said, tell your art story. You may consider the following. How has art impacted your life? How has your interest in art evolved? How have you grown as an artist? And I think somewhere in there we can like put a premise, how has COVID impacted, we can say in the past couple of years,
Okay.
something like that. Has COVID impacted your art, through your growth?
If so, how?
Yeah, if so, how? Or how has COVID affected your growth as an artist? Or I don't know.
I think I like the first way that you put it, has it, and if so, how? And that gives them the option of, yeah, maybe it didn't.
And then the next one was, what do you believe are your greatest artistic accomplishments? I think that's a good question, generally. And I'm just reading if you guys have something just pop in because I can't see you. So what are your artistic goals for the future? And how would you use a scholarship to help you achieve them? I think that's perfectly valid. What role do you think the arts play in today's society? Is it any different pre or post COVID? Maybe, I don't know. What college, university will you be attending? If not, if you haven't been accepted, which ones are you anticipating? And then that's good for a scholarship. Status, accepted and plan to attend, application pending, current PCC. So this one can
go. We could just say like pre-application planning or pre-college prep or something that says, yeah, you're not you haven't already applied if you're a junior.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's a good idea. Area of study, what you plan on going for, address of college. This would only be required for seniors, city, blah, 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 state. Student ID for college, university that student will be attending if available. So this would be only for those receiving scholarships. So it'd be seniors, and honestly, I think that we should probably just change this. If you get awarded, we'll need your student ID.
Yeah, we'll need verification of
verification.
Intent to enroll.
Yeah, exactly. Samples of work, samples of performance work. This came out of submittable. So these are just fields that were exported, which makes sense. Sample of works, there's a bunch of them. Additional comments. Is there anything else that you would like to share that is relevant to this application? If so, 150 words or less. I think it's good to be open, to their comments. And then letters of recommendations. Which I think, how long have you known the applicant? What capacity? Talk about the growth of the craft and recommended. It's got to be on the institutional letterhead, which makes sense to me. And that was it. So that was a pretty solid application, honestly. So.
Okay.
Straightforward.
Fantastic. I feel like that's just very easy to dial in. We don't have to make a ton of changes.
Do you want me to save these highlights and send them back to you? Or
yeah, could you do that? And then could you see Courtney on that?
Absolutely.
And Jim, if you're doing the minutes of this, is it possible to send this out as an attachment?
Send it to me.
Yeah.
Ryan, could you just send this to all of us?
Got it.
That's the easy way.
Okay.
Where's it at? There we go.
So I think we'll just hold the phone on award amounts for the moment. But I'm thinking, a range would probably be good, like awards greater than $1,000, something like that. We probably should put those in the guidelines. We'll get more it'll incentivize, students to apply if they know the award amount.
So Laura, just let me clarify one thing. Excuse me. Do you want me to not reach out to Southminster? Is that what I heard?
No, I mean, I think that we can, but let me do this, Sharon. Let me ask the Arts Foundation first
Okay.
about us acting as a fiscal agent, because I really don't know what to do if we're not allowed. If they don't want to do that, then how do we how do we process their donation?
Fair enough. Okay.
So
I'll hold for now.
Okay, yeah, and I can talk to Lonnie about it.
Lonnie Faith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because we need a catch-up session anyways. We've been trading voicemails. So I'll just talk to her about it and ask her if it's an option. I think she'll be pretty candid with me if it's not.
Okay.
In which case, then I think we would hold on. I think in particular, anyone who is going to do it as a donation for tax purposes, that's, a sponsorship is a little bit different. So if we want to seek sponsorships, maybe that's just it's a different animal. We'll have to do, yeah.
Okay, I'll hold off. I just thought, they have a historical precedent with this. So yeah, hold on.
Sure. So we'll just hold for the moment, and then I'll get an answer from Lonnie.
Okay.
And then, so timeline, I think that we typically we do the awards event in May, if memory serves. And I think we would want to stick with that.
Is there an event that we can tie this to that exists? Because I know the mayor's ball is probably not around.
And the mayor's ball.
The way it was done, it was just it was part of, I don't know if it was actually not, it wasn't part of the city council meeting. It wasn't, it was a standalone thing. Yeah, we never tied it in with anything.
I thought it was part of a council meeting.
I'm trying to think, why would it seem to me that wasn't at night though? I'm trying to,
I think it was at night, and it was just light out.
There you go, maybe.
It was still light out.
Because I remember them taking pictures, and it was out in front of the sculpture, and it was light, so that's why I didn't tell. It seemed like it was.
I mean, I know that they took pictures with the mayor and all that. So let me do this. Because we don't really, events have their own team now, and the city might have an event that it makes sense to tie this in with. Otherwise, I think we should try to sync up with the city council meeting in May, or one of them in May. And then I think it's just figuring out which one makes sense to, and kind of getting on the agenda now, so they know it's coming. But if there's also something, I don't know, if there's something that's a bit more of a party, just a little bit more of a celebration, maybe that would be good. Maybe we could do both. Maybe we could do a city council meeting and then something that's actually a bit more of a robust party.
One of the things that we talked about last time was possibly shifting the due date past January, so that the end of the semester has happened, and the Beaverton School District semester ends February 4th.
Okay.
So, and it'd be very difficult to try to, because a lot of students work on things as their semester projects and stuff. And so,
yeah, I
don't know if we wanted to continue that idea or not. So,
yeah, I think so. I think it's fine as long as we think that's enough room to allow for us to review and all of that. I think so.
Yeah.
If we have the deadline in February, maybe we make it like the Friday, the 18th. Oh, there's midwinter break in there too. So
yeah. Midwinter break or spring break?
isn't midwinter break in February?
Spring break's in March.
Yeah, spring break's in March, which is the month just after that. There's no break in there per se. There's
Because I always thought that
school
midwinter
closed
break
through the
happened.
holiday periods. Yeah, there's 2 days, Monday and a Tuesday, that's closed, is the 21st and 22nd. of
It's
February.
President's Day. Mhm.
President's Day. Yes. But
So-
that's it.
Would it be a horrible thing to have applications due be like the Friday of a holiday weekend?
No, I don't think so.
Well, then why don't we set it at Friday, February 18th,
Okay.
and by 5 p.m.
And then when were we thinking about having the selection done by? Sorry, I got interrupted.
I mean, we should have the selection done in April, like completed in April.
That sounds good. The end of the grading period happens in April. So that would be 13th, 14th, 15th. That'd be April 15th is grading day for teachers. So we wouldn't want to do anything that weekend because teachers will be super busy, but probably after that would be good because they won't be racing to the end of the semester. And by that time, seniors will be looking on anyways, so.
Okay, and that's just for like our review, correct? Like this is the review of the applications, not the actual party.
Not the actual award. Yeah, that's what, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
So let's just say we want to have review done by, I think by Friday, the 28th of April.
Okay. 29th of April?
29th, that's what I meant.
Okay. Just making sure.
But you know what, now that I'm thinking about that, I feel like we should make it a little bit earlier because we want to have some time to turn around and like notify and like make sure people have enough time to mark their calendars and all that stuff. So
Yeah, that's a
22nd?
tight timeline.
why don't we do that? Why don't we do it on the 22nd?
Wait a second. Selection. So we'll have a meeting that day and then vote for selection or whatever.
Well, Fridays are, we certainly can. I think I don't want to decide on the date quite yet. I
Okay.
want to have Courtney weigh in on that.
But it just has to be done by that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we might want to do it sooner. I mean, just depending on what's best for the group that's involved. And do we
Mondays
want,
tend to be great for me, so.
Fridays are good.
Fridays or Mondays, but Mondays tend to be best. So.
Mondays are not good for Courtney.
And I'm totally fine with that.
So
The other days just take coordination from me.
do we want to invite other panelists to be on the panel? It would seem that maybe that would be a good thing.
Yeah, I think we'll have to develop some criteria after we get the application and stuff.
Yeah,
out.
I mean, for me, I think it would be really wonderful to invite Allison Valbag to be on the panel, even though she will be at that point a former commissioner. She was a big believer in this program, so she might be good. Just throwing it out there. We could also look.
Oh, is she not re-upping?
No.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
Yeah, you know what, that's a nice thought, but she put this together and then just sort of left it.
Okay.
Put the invite out there, but don't expect that you're just doing it to be nice, essentially. I don't expect she's going to take it up. And I think
Okay.
Sharon could probably vouch for that she had this whole idea and we thought she was going to be part of this subcommittee and drive it, and no, nothing. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, so maybe we should think about, like, maybe the next time we meet, we can have some ideas of a couple panelists that aren't necessarily on the commission, but that would be great. Like that might be field subject matter experts, like work with youth, our teachers, our previous scholarship recipients, Something to that degree. I think it would be so great if we could have something that's somebody on the panel that's more of a peer, maybe a little bit close to their age range, maybe who have been a previous recipient. I think that would be really great. So we can pull together a list of the recent recipients too.
Look for like 3, well, I guess it has to be 3 years out. 3 to 4 years out tends to be a really good one because they're kind of rounding out their college career. So
okay.
Well, that's the way it's going to be now because we haven't done this in that long. So
yeah, I realized that as I was saying it. Oh yeah.
It's good to plant these seeds now. I mean, we have time to pull the panels together. That's the good news, is that we do have a bit of time, but I think for right now, the priority for us is to get the application out there in the world.
Okay. And just to kind of like throw it out there, because we know when we have to have things selected, but when does the award actually happen? The seniors' last day of school is June 9th, right? So they'll be pieced out by then. So.
Yeah, no, it'll have to happen. I'm thinking like second week of May.
May. Let me check something here.
It would be the second Tuesday. And I'll have to confirm that that's doable with council.
and to follow up with, Allison saying that, yeah, if, it's not a personal thing. I'm just saying that in the past, that it was the current chair was the one who kind of conducted this when we were giving out the awards for city council. They were ones reading it off, and so it could be any one of us, or if you want to invite whoever the current chair. You're saying Allison isn't re-upping, so that kind of takes her out. But whoever is next one moving forward should be involved in this process. That would be a given, I think.
Okay, that's fair.
And if we're doing it in front of the city council, we should invite a representative from the Beaverton school board so that they're present. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and it doesn't look like there's any major district event happening on the 9th. So there's a budget meeting for the school board, but
Okay, so here's what I'm going to suggest. We meet maybe the second. Well, let's meet. I'm trying to think about all the committee meetings and our BAC meeting. What about if we met the third week of January to go over all of the application guidelines, all that stuff? Would that make sense for our next meeting date?
Works for me.
So let's just look quickly.
Well, that would be said January.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be rough. There's probably no way we can get another meeting in like 2 weeks and get it out. You think? I know it's tight timeline, but we have the I'd be interested in getting the application out within a couple weeks, just to let people know what's happening before Christmas break.
It's gonna be. I'm telling you, it's gonna be tough. Let's just see here. I can meet Thursday the 2nd. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can't commit to that. I can't commit to that. I don't think I'll be.
You're gonna be gone.
I'm gonna be gone.
Oh, okay.
But shortly after that,
Jim, are you gone the whole month of December?
pretty much.
Okay.
I'll be gone mid-December to probably the 4th or 5th. So anytime after the first week of January is fine with me.
Okay.
Unless we can squeeze it in before, but that's going to be
So by mid-December, you mean what?
I'm gone. Oh, whatever the
Like
I'll
the
be leaving
13th?
here. Yeah, like the 15th, right? Yeah.
Okay.
See what, I don't know how the weeks work then, but it'll be.
What about, but you're leaving on the around the 15th? You can't do anything before then?
I can, yeah.
Oh, you
Before then
can't?
I can before the 15th of December. I'm blocked out from the 15th to probably the 5th of January.
Okay.
So to Ryan's point, it would be like either the week of December 6th or December 13th. So maybe the 14th, if we avoid a Monday because of Courtney's schedule.
The 14th would be great for me.
Okay.
What day is the 14th?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay, pencil me in. Yeah, I think that'll work.
Do we want to do, is it possible to do a 4 o'clock?
Yeah, I need to get a babysitter, but I can make that happen. So
What time would you not need a babysitter?
I'm daddy all afternoon. So,
All the time?
yeah, it's all good. Every Tuesday and Thursday, but Tuesdays are easier. So
Okay.
because I have a Oma down the street. So
Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to send this out right now. I'm silent because I'm typing an email to you all.
no, it's all good. Just looking at that timeline, if we meet that day and approve the application, can we send something out to Lake and Jesuit, and we got a Cat and Gable, right? And the other schools by like that Friday or by that Thursday?
I think so.
That way it's like, hey, opportunity. And because their last day is the 16th or the 17th. So
Brian, how many schools are you talking about that you know of, the alternatives, the private and the public? How many approximate?
I only have contacts at Beaverton and Jesuit that I can think of at the moment. And then I know that there's Catlin Gable, which is in rounds. And well, I guess I do have a contact at Episcopal. That's just like, that's like right on the edge, whether it's in Beaverton or not. I always forget where that line is, but
Yeah,
it's like right there.
Yeah.
I think it's doable. I think we'll have Courtney kind of get everything teed up and submittable so that we can approve like all the application content and then just put it in there and then be ready to go. So what might be good in between now and then is if you had a list that you could just start aggregating where we would want to send it.
Sure.
And then we can kind of compile that for Courtney.
I'll start an email chain. We can just continue adding to it, and then if when people think of it that way, we're just pinging.
It's a thread that like never ends. It just continues to go around and round.
Well, it will end on the 14th.
Yes. It's finite.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll get that thread going.
Okay. Well, we have 3 minutes. It seems like we're clear on our next meeting date, what we're all working on. And Sharon, I will follow up with you once I talk to Lonnie. I may just actually follow up with all of you just to let you know what the answer is, and then what, we can come up with plan B if that's not going to work.
Okay.
But depending on what we find out, we'll talk about that at the next meeting as well.
Okay.
Okay.
And I just reached out to Lanny, not Lonnie, to see if she had any recollection of the awards being done before city council. And I thought for sure she would know, but she wasn't sure.
I'm pretty sure, thinking about back that, it was the thing with the light, whether, because we took those pictures, it couldn't have been, but it was part of the city council. They were all there.
I thought so too.
I'm certain it was.
Yeah, I'm certain it was too. Yeah. Yep.
It was definitely in city council chambers, that I do remember. And then we had the reception out in the main lobby. That was my last memory.
Right. And I think to get everybody together like that, it had to have been city council meeting, so but it was the lion's share of the meeting was these awards. And it was, and it was moderated by whoever the chair was at the time, but since we're subcommittee, it could be whoever we want. But that's, we'll take that next time.
Well, let's just hope we all can meet in person for that celebration. That's my hope. I'm going to just like act as if until I know otherwise. And that's just kind of how I'm operating about all things like arts program related that are tied to events. So with that, you guys, I have to run to this other subcommittee meeting. Thank you so much. This is a really productive meeting and I appreciate it. I will be back with you soon about the Arts Foundation, and I'll follow up with Courtney too and just make sure she's aware of what we covered in this meeting. Jim, I'll just if you can send me minutes when it's convenient to you, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Just short and sweet and to the point.
That's what it's going to be.
All right, and let's start that thread.
That-
The long email thread.
The long
Working on it now.
finite thread.
Okay, y'all.
Awesome.
I will
See ya.
see you all
Good to see
soon.
you again.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy
Oh yeah,
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, yes. Cheers.
All right, take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.